Hey there everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of My Orchid Adventures with me, Maria Young. So today in this episode, what we're going to be doing is a Catasetum propagation. Now, although I have never done a Catasetum propagation before, I know how it works and I did a little bit of research, so indeed I think I can do it. Now, because I've never done it, and for the fact that you guys know I never follow by the rules, sometimes I can say that I am a rebel at heart, just sometimes, every so now and again. But indeed, I definitely like to discover exactly what orchids can and can't do. So this is going to be one of those experiments, and I do hope that you'll follow this adventure with me so we can discover it together. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this propagation was for the mere fact that one of my Catasetums absolutely drove me batty. It was so wiggly and wobbly, I don't even know if it was connected at all. I mean, that's how wobbly it was. So each year that comes, I keep saying I need to do a propagation, but then I wait too long and then I never do it. So this year is going to make it the third year, and it's do or die, now or never. We definitely are going to do it, even though I think I kind of missed the mark for the simple fact that I really wanted to do it way before any new growth started coming up. But these Catasetum do what they want to do, and even though it's the winter time and we still have some time to go before it's springtime, they've already begun to sprout and they're ready to burst forth. So what can you say? Again, it's do or die, now or never. We're gonna do it regardless, and we're gonna see if it still can work. So let's take a closer look at the Catasetums that are just bursting forth and just can't wait to be set free. So there goes that little guy. Here goes a bigger little guy. He's actually beginning to divide out, and you can see the beginning of the leaves. And also we have another guy right here. And this one right here is the mounted project one that we were doing. And indeed, his little growth is coming up as well. And this little gal right here is the one that we are going to be propagating today. And she is the Clowisii Rebecca's daughter, crossed with a Clowisii Grace Dunn live oak, HCC, and also AOS awarded. Now, you guys may remember her because I did feature her on a couple of my episodes. So indeed, today she is featured again, and we're going to see her up close and bare rooted. Oh my gosh! And definitely, we're going to expose some things about her today. So today is the day that I discovered such an unfortunate thing, because indeed, as I stated before, I really wanted to do the propagation before her new growth started. But if we take a closer look, if we look to the very base, we will begin to see her new growth coming forth right there. So I wanted to show you how wiggly wobbly this orchid is. Look at that. And I mean, they're all pretty much wiggly wobbly, including this one right here. Look at that. And again, I mean, they're hanging on by a thread, I believe. I don't even know if they're connected at this point, but I want to definitely do something about it, even if we have to stake them up. And here are some of the tools and materials that we may or may not be using, just depending on how intense this surgical process will be. So here we have a spray bottle that's filled with peroxide, some sphagnum moss, some water, a pair of scissors, cinnamon, here's some twisty ties and some stakes, and this is the container that we're going to be repotting it in, and also a knife and a cutting board. Again, we may or may not need all of these, but we are indeed prepared. Okay, so here we are. This is our test subject, and we're going to go ahead and kind of evaluate what needs to be done at this point. We're going to go ahead and take her out of this container, and oh my, she's stuck in there pretty good. There we go. A whole lot of media here. And roots. Here you go. You're seeing it? You're seeing it? Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and take this completely apart, remove all this media. And as I stated, look at there. I mean, they're kind of split apart anyways. So this was just really, really needed. And I think this is going to actually be a much easier project than I thought it would be. And we have most of the media removed. And again, look at that. I mean, it was kind of naturally split anyway, so Look how easy. Look at that. Just simple pull. Look at that. They're just coming apart. Easy as pie, guys. And we're gonna see exactly what transpires after we pot this all up. There you go. That simple. That simple. No knife, no scissor, no nothing. It was just simply pulling them apart. There you go, each individual one right there. So now that we've gotten all of the pseudobulbs separated and divided out, we're going to go ahead and cut away some of these roots right here. And I'm using a sanitized scissor. And I'm just going to go ahead and individually cut majority of the roots off. Right there, leaving some because you do kind of want a little bit to anchor down the bulb as much as possible. So there you have it. So now we're just going to go ahead and give them a little bath, wash them off right there. We're just going to clean them off in this water right here. And now that they're all cleaned off, all there is left to do is to spray them down with the peroxide just as a disinfectant, and just to make sure that they're nice, clean, disinfected, and no germs or bacteria that can cause them harm. And taking a look at each one, I do see little division points where it did leave an open wound for open access to germ and bacteria. So what I'm going to do is put some cinnamon on them and let these dry out before I repot them. And here's the division point on this one, and then one right there. We'll have to put cinnamon on. Also right here is the division mark on this one. And then also for this one, oh yeah, it's right there. You can barely see it. But we'll be putting some cinnamon on this one as well. And also taking a closer look at the bulb, I am finding some growth points where it can possibly grow on these pseudobulbs. And here's some more right here. So if all goes well, this may take growth. And this one right here, you can see it right there and right there. This one right here actually had the new growth coming. You can also see points right there. And if we turn it around, you can see points right here as well, where you're seeing those dry sheath coverings. Those can be possible growth points. Now this one I looked high and low, and it was pretty hard for me to find any sheathing action, but I did. Here's one right here. And if we turn it and turn it around, there's one up here as well. So even though they are above the media, you never know what these can do. And a lot of times when you see sheaths and nodes, they're actually backup. So if anything happens, they can set out new growth and keikis and things of that nature. So you never know what this will do. And this one right here is the baby of the family, and believe it or not, I did find some growth points here, possible growth points, if you could see where those sheaths are. Okay, so here they all are. All there's left to do is to let them dry out, put the cinnamon on them, and then of course repot them. And drum roll please, this is the final product right here. As you can see, I did fully utilize those twisty ties and also those stakes right there to hold the bulbs up and together. And as you can see, it's pretty much stable, not too much wiggle wobbly. At least it's not even as wiggly wobbly as it was before. So indeed, I think we did a good job on this one. And also, even though they are divided, they are still being kept together, and that's just to be convenient for me, so I don't have to stress out on having them in individual pots. So what are the possibilities of this project? Well, we have the possibility of actually all of them creating new growths and taking root. And that would be fabulous, right? And we also have the probability that perhaps some of them, and of course the other probability, which we're hoping won't transpire, is the fact that none of them will take root or create new growths, even the one that already had them. Because as you guys know, during a time where they are growing new growths and roots, a lot of energy is going to be utilized to create them. And because I did major work this could have stunted it, and it could have actually held it back, making this orchid weaker. So yeah, that is a great possibility as well. We're hoping not, of course. But we have to keep in mind with these Catasetum, you can actually propagate each individual bulb. You don't have to have 2 to 3 bulbs together to keep them healthy. As a matter of fact, the Catasetum has so much energy in these bulbs, they can actually grow and be self-sufficient with just 1 bulb. So those are the possibility, guys. So we really have to monitor this closely and of course keep our fingers crossed. And there you have it, folks. That is an absolute Catasetum propagation wrap. Now, you guys have to let me know, do you guys think this is going to work? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya? Because now it's just the waiting game, and we definitely have to keep our fingers crossed and hope that it does. Let me know what you guys think the results will be. And also, if you guys have ever done a Catasetum propagation, let me know also what your experiences were and if it indeed worked for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of My Orchid Adventures, and of course please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to join me on Facebook, I'm there as well at My Orchid Adventures, and you can also write me at the address below. Also, I'm on eBay, so check me out there as well. I have some phenomenal orchids up for sale, so check me out. Thank you guys so much, and you guys already know, indeed, I do love you guys all. Mwah!